Laugh now, cry later. Why would I cry?
2 hours later.
Please, someone help me! Hey guys, welcome to IQ Live. For those who are new, the IQ stands for Introvert Queen. On my main channel, I create deep dive documentary style videos on popular topics. So don't forget to check out that channel if you love binge watching, thought provoking, original, inspiring, and or funny ass content. And on this channel, I am the host of IQ Live, the place where I discuss random hot topics that interest me, like YouTubers, lolcows, or mainstream stories. And if they interest me, I'm pretty sure they'll interest you too. So stick around, get comfy, grab your favorite beverage of choice. All right, buckle up and let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome everyone to the chat, to my first ever live stream, and welcome to those watching the replay. So, breaking news, Shanny's channel is nowhere to be found. A few hours ago, her channel was terminated for violating YouTube's terms of service. And right now, she's trying to get her new channel up to 1,000 subscribers, but once YouTube terminates your channel, good luck having them monetize you again. So you better believe I'll be monitoring the situation and I'll report on the latest details at a later date so that we can wrap this up. But for now, I think we should take a trip down memory lane because I want to give you guys a breakdown of the absolute madness that happened this weekend, okay? And I have no doubt that the madness from this weekend is ultimately what led to the downfall of her channel. So bear with me, guys. I'm still trying to figure out how the live chatting works. So I'm really going to try to just focus on this, but I promise you, I'll circle back to the chat with you guys after I cover everything. So just talk amongst yourselves for now. Okay. So before we start breaking down the recent events and how they unfolded, which ultimately led to the termination of Shanny4Christ channel, I want to start at ground zero because maybe some of you don't even know who the hell I'm talking about, or maybe you've heard her name in passing. So for those of you who know nothing about Shanny4Christ and her husband, Rev, let me catch you up to speed with a short video, but hold on one second. Just give me a second while I prepare for this.
All right, meet Shanny4Christ and her common-law husband who goes by Revelation News, aka Rev. As you can guess by their names, they're self-described devout Christians who also happen to live a life completely opposite of Christianity. You can call them somewhat of a head-scratching anomaly. Rumor has it that adultery was committed because Shanny was married before she got with Rev. And, according to her own mother, Shanny, while married to another man, was smitten with Jason after learning he had a large inheritance. And she set her mind on being with him after that. There was no stopping her. She was going to get her man. There have been a documented arrest for her going to jail and beating Rev up. There's been crazy and disgusting allegations from her own mom and dad about her parenting. And she has said some really vile and disgusting things online. She's the mother of 2 young boys, and Jason is their quasi-stepfather. So, when we are referring to these poor children, just remember, these are her children by blood, not his. And we'll go more in depth about their history at a later video, but for now, that's the breakdown.
All right, so how did you guys like that intro? I just wanted to start the stream by adding in a little bit of levity to the situation before things get too serious. Because while I can poke fun at the adults, the situation with the kids is really no laughing matter. And let's face it, if 2 lolcows want to act foolish on the internet, that's one thing. Go live your chaotic adult life. That's fine. but she does have 2 children that have no choice in the matter. And some really serious stuff happened over the weekend that I have no doubt helped to contribute to the termination of her channel. And now the video that you see on the screen, there are, that video is circulating around the internet, and it's showing the condition of the house that Shanny and Rev were evicted from. And it's pretty shocking to see. And like I said, if 2 grown-ass adults want to live in squalor, that's one thing. But not when the 2 children are subjected to that kind of environment too. It's unacceptable. And what really got me concerned over the weekend was the fact that this video showing them living in filth, while it's shocking, the sad part is that this is a theme from Shanny from her past. And more specifically, that theme came from Shanny's own parents. So my question is, have these children predominantly been living in filth for years now? And honestly, you guys, I was willing to give them the benefit of the doubt because I thought that maybe this was just a unique situation, that they were stressed out because of their upcoming eviction and they got consumed with trying to make ends meet. But no, unfortunately, even years ago, her own mother spoke out about what kind of condition these children lived in. And that was years ago. So now I'm going to show you a clip that really kind of sends the message home. So listen to how relevant the words from her mother from years ago are and how it perfectly pertains to the events that just unfolded.
The thing is she didn't want to help out with any kind of household responsibilities.
No household responsibility. I think she emptied the dishwasher once.
And
she doesn't clean up after her boys. She left the house constantly. Tell them what it was like halfway up the stairs. What could you smell?
Piss.
Urine. It was filled with urine. They were peeing on the floor regularly, but she pretends that never went on. Anything that you try to bring up about her, she pretends that it didn't happen, or she'll turn it around. She'll turn it around and make it seem like you're crazy or whatever. The floor, how deep was the garbage, clothing, urine, God knows what other kind of waste, food. Lots of food. How deep was it in the room?
8 inches, 12 inches deep. It was a lot.
Some places even 2 feet.
It was a lot. It was an unbelievable pigsty.
I finally got fed up with it. I'm going to be honest with you. I finally got fed up with it. And I said, this is it. I can't put up with this anymore. I tried to ask her to get things cleaned up. Let me tell you something. My husband gave up the bedroom to sleep in the spare room in a smaller bed. And I slept on the couch downstairs the whole time she was here. So they could have the master bedroom. And that master bedroom, a stench started coming out of it. And when I opened the door, it was at least 2 feet deep, full of garbage, food, clothing, God knows what else was in there, urine. We found urine in a container, but it was spilled all over the floor. It took us weeks to get that. Oh, it's been 3 months since she's been gone, maybe more. Well, let's see. It was Christmas Eve when the cops got her out. Wouldn't listen to me. I was trying to get her to clean that room up. I'm telling you, the stench was horrible. No one should live like that. I cleaned her house out. Oh my God, talk about a mess. The bedroom up in the boys' room, you get halfway up the steps and you could smell the urine coming out of there. For some reason, they thought it was okay to piss on the floor. Okay? And it hurts. It hurts really bad. It hurts to know that my grandchildren have to live like this. It does. It hurts me real bad because I know my other two grandchildren are living a decent life. They have two parents that love them very much. And they're happy in the way a kid is supposed to be. So I hope you got the message, Jason and Shannon. Good luck to you. I hope that you get the help that you need, finally. But it won't be coming from your family anymore. We're done. We're through. Just want you to know that. I don't take pleasure in it either. I think it's horrible how things went down. You would feel the same way as a mother, or maybe not. You seem to put yourself before your kids all the time.
So that was crazy, right? I feel like this is such a messy situation because Shanny's family has basically waved the white flag and said that there's nothing more that they can do to help her or their grandchildren. And so here we are, Shanny and Rev live streaming all day. And the people that were watching were noticing signs of neglect with those children. And there's even a clip that I forgot to add in here where Shanny's mom was explaining how CPS came to show Shanny how to clean and stress the importance of having a clean home for the children. And by this footage that you're looking at right now, that clearly did nothing. So here we are years later, and that's what we saw over the weekend before her channel was terminated. So, and here's the thing, Shanny has no shame. No shame. And instead of being worried about her children's welfare, she's bragging about how much attention this whole debacle received online. So, listen to Shanny's rationale about how fantastic the situation was over this weekend.
No, I know a lot of people were like talking about me and stuff.
Get lift in the car. I mean,
Yeah, but see, I'm glad the house turned to shit and they made that video because it got me so many people subscribed to me.
Yeah.
Like, holy I should be a nasty bitch forever if it's gonna make me this.
It's so.
So, that clip, that one that we just saw, that's what really prompted me to want to do this live stream because it was like, well, before I knew her channel was going to be terminated, but I was thinking it's like this catch-22, right? Like you're damned by bringing attention to it, but you're also as equally damned for not saying anything. And honestly, you guys, I'm not any different than any of you listening right now. Pretty much any well-functioning adult who saw the clips from this weekend are going to be thinking about the welfare of those kids. So what is the actual solution? Do you just not say anything? Should it be blasted from the rooftops to bring more awareness to the situation? Obviously, the latter worked. And you know what? Like, a thought came to me back then. I was like, wait a second. Like, Shanny and Rev, they are definitely not the first parents on social media whose viewers were concerned about the welfare of the children that were in the videos. So, instead of just talking out of my ass, I did want to do some research and just see how this had been handled in the past. And here's what I came up with. Just bear in mind, let me find that clip. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. So you'll see little snippets of like cases that I saw that kind of pertain to this scenario. And so especially YouTube in the past few years, they don't play when it comes to anything dealing with the endangerment of children. And they will demonetize a channel and delete it with the quickness. And not only YouTube, but most other companies that have like a large platform that care about public sentiment, they really get uncomfortable with more and more people highlighting issues with a particular channel. And so there have been many documented instances where authorities will only get involved based on the persistence and the due diligence of concerned viewers. And it got enough traction to garner the attention of like much larger YouTubers who then raised even more awareness. And a perfect instance of that is the guy that you're seeing on the screen, Philip DeFranco. He's obviously really popular. If you haven't heard of him, I'm surprised if you haven't, but he did multiple videos covering the neglect of YouTuber parents to his millions and millions of viewers. And in the end, it ended up paying off big time because YouTube ended up demonetizing the channel, deleting the channel, and banning them from ever being on its platform again. And the parents ended up being convicted of child neglect for filming the kids doing popular prank videos. And the parents ended up being sentenced to 5 years probation for neglect. But that was only after viewers and influencers were persistent with raising the alarm and repeatedly like going to YouTube corporate and law enforcement. So without those viewers' intervention, the treatment of those kids would probably have just been swept under the rug. And so I do need to clarify that some of these instances that I just mentioned involved children who were actually YouTube personalities on their channel. And this was not necessarily the situation with Shanny's kids because they're not featured on her channel. But in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter if the neglect is happening on or off camera? If people suspect the welfare of any child, at the end of the day, if you see something that doesn't add up, it should be monitored, it should be tracked, and it should be reported. And then it's up to the authorities and law enforcement and platforms like YouTube to determine what to do and if the concerns that we have are valid and substantiated. And the scariest part is this, okay? These popular vlogging channels, back then, they kept all of their videos public, all of them. So it was a lot easier to collect a repository of evidence to provide to authorities and YouTube. And in Shanny's case, she is notorious for live streaming and then dirty deleting pretty much all of her live streams. I'd say like 90% of them are deleted. And so how are you going to bring awareness to law enforcement when there's nothing to show if she's deleting it? That's the unique situation with her, not these other channels, it seems like. And not only that, we know Shanny and Rev only care about one thing, fame and attention. So fine, if they're not fazed by authorities or the welfare of their children, then having YouTube demonetize them and take their channel away, obviously they're caring about that. I mean, they cared way more about that than anything that I've seen happen to their children. And so here Shanny is. She's on her second channel she's trying to get like 1,000 subs to get monetized again, but that's against YouTube terms of service. And once a channel has been terminated, you're not supposed to create a new one. And I don't think she realizes that. And yes, they can come back under like Rev's channel, but they also track IP addresses. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's not only a matter of time before those channels are gone too. And even before the news that just broke like a few hours ago of her channel being terminated, over the weekend, I had like this light bulb moment with these channels that are covering Shanny. These channels that are recording Shanny streams before she dirty deletes them is really useful and it's really helpful, not only for the kids' safety, but a little bit later on, I'm going to show you how Shanny and Rev did some pretty reckless things this weekend by misleading the police and making intentionally grossly inaccurate and deceptive statements that could have got innocent people arrested. Okay? So if you haven't heard about that, I'm going to explain that to you in a second. But first, I really want to give credit where credit is due. And these two YouTubers that you see on the screen right now, I would not have known anything about Shanny4Christ if it wasn't for Cecil McFly and I'm probably going to mess up his name. Drag Knocked Silvis. He goes by Drag. It's a lot easier for me to just say Drag. I think that's how you say his name, Drag Knocked. But so anyway, correct me if I'm wrong. So Cecil had an amazing documentary video. Drag Knocked. He's been following Shanny for like damn near almost a decade, I think, and he's a wealth of knowledge. And there are some others, but I don't follow it closely enough to like, you know, tell you all the names. But he's like, he knows a lot. He knows everything. So most of the footage that I did get from my channel today that you're seeing is from him and his footage, and especially with the living conditions that the children were in, no one would have known without the help of him. So please, if you haven't, go ahead and check out both of these channels if you do want to know anything more like Shanny related, but also they do have other content. So I do have a great appreciation for that. And so I just kind of had to throw that in there before we move on. So now we need to move on to discuss the craziness that happened over the weekend and how it ultimately led to the termination of her channel. Okay. And this does get like crazy. Okay. It all started after Shanny and Rev got evicted from their house in Colorado for not paying their rent for damn near almost this whole year, 2021. They were having to pay $3,000 a month in rent. And I think at the time of their eviction, they owed like $16,000 in back rent. Can you imagine? Like, it's not showing now, but once it shows the screenshot of the house, can you imagine being the owner of the house? And not only did you not get paid for, you know, $16,000 worth of rent, so you're having to continue to pay the mortgage unless it was paid off, but look at the condition that they left the house. Like those poor owners or the management company, whatever, that is ridiculous. So yeah, so basically they got an eviction notice sent to their house that was requiring them to move within the week. And the next thing you know, they're packed up, they loaded into their SUV, they were on their way to Colorado, to somewhere on the East Coast. And fortunately for them, one of Rev's family members, I believe it may be his uncle, offered for them to stay at one of his vacant homes. And so seriously, like within a few days, not long after they had the eviction notice, because they got out the day the eviction notice was to cease, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, so like right after that, they were live streaming everything. They live streamed, like they left their driveway in Colorado, and while they were on the road, Shanny immediately turned on her camera and started live streaming. All right. And then she said this. Let me play the clip.
The garage door at our address is open. Anybody in Colorado that's near it, go in and get anything you can. There's tons of stuff that's worth a lot of money. Go in and get it.
Have fun.
Have fun.
Try to avoid the popo.
Okay, so you heard that, right? Go ahead, go in my house, avoid the popo, have at it, go to my house. I mean, they gave every Tom, Dick, and Harry permission to enter their home. Verbal authorization. People went in. I mean, people listened to that. They went in and they filmed the condition inside the home. And the rest that you're seeing is history. And what happened after that, you guys? These two immediately deleted that live stream. So I do have a screenshot of that. Okay, you see this? Shanny on the screen, you see Road Trip 2 and Road Trip 3. And right there was a video that was there. Obviously, I don't remember what it was called. I don't think it was Road Trip 1. But there was a video there. Because you can't have Road Trip Part 2 without something with 1. It was there. And so this is the part that really let me witness firsthand the reputation that preceded Shanny4Christ. And this next part is absolutely, utterly appalling, okay? After they deleted that video, they went live again. The video where they're giving off verbal authorization to enter the home, they delete it. And they completely lied about what happened. They claimed that they never gave anyone permission to enter the house. So, lying to the internet, lying in general is a bad thing. Lying to the internet to a bunch of people you don't know, yeah, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world, right? But to then call the police and provide misleading statements, oh my gosh, you guys, once I saw that, my mind was blown because that is some maniacal shit. Okay? Like, what the hell? In the next clip I'm going to play, just make sure, okay, take note of this. Make sure to watch Shanny's face and her demeanor and her overall excitement and glee that she gets. It's like this sinister dupe and delight smile as if she was getting away with something really bad, because she was. And it's maddening to see, and mental illness or not. So check this out.
Ah, man. He's in legal problems now. All of them are in legal problems. Ah, ha, 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 ha. La-di-da, 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 la-di-da. Ha, 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 ha. Woo! Pretty dumb getting into someone's place, huh? Yeah, they're probably going to get it. Yep, they're in big trouble with the police right now. They're in huge problems with the police right now.
Whatever.
So enjoy that. Enjoy getting in trouble with the law. I hope it was worth it. I hope it was worth it. They are in legal problems. I just talked to the police. Yep, by entering they own any damages. Exactly. Exactly. Yep. The cops are going in it right now, and they took all the information on Drag too. He's in so much trouble. You guys are in so much trouble, dude. You guys are in so much trouble. It doesn't matter if the house was gross or not. You guys did not have permission to go in there.
The garage door at our address is open. Anybody in Colorado that's near it, go in and get anything you can. There's tons of stuff that's worth a lot of money. Go in and get it.
Have fun.
Have fun.
Try to avoid the popo.
I also you on our bed.
Yeah, you peed on my kids' beds, you freaks.
Okay, so who intentionally lies and misleads to get someone arrested? Like, holy F, you guys. That was some bullshit, okay? The audacity for Shanny to lie to the police and then mislead them with statements of something they previously authorized people to do, delete the evidence, and then use it to attempt to frame a YouTuber who criticizes them that they don't like. I mean, that is totally abhorrent. And fortunately, there was a YouTuber by the name of Crude AF who saved the day, because if he had not recorded that live stream before it was dirty deleted, showing them providing verbal authorization for anyone to enter the home, there could have been some really serious legal ramifications, because Shanny and Rev ended up blaming those who entered the home for the condition of the home that you see. Like saying that it was ransacked, that other people left pee and urine because they left it clean. Like, are you kidding me? Did you hear what Shanny's mom said years ago? Like, this is something that has stayed consistent with them. So anyway, so while all of this is happening, the children are sitting in the back. They're helping to perpetuate this lie that they're telling, that their parents are telling, not them. And it's not their fault. It's not the kids' fault, okay? Obviously, they're little children. They love their mom and they want to protect her. But honestly, like, what kind of lessons are Shanny and Rev sending to those kids that will protect her at all costs, that can like make up a lie on a dime? That's like years worth of like grooming. Seriously, that teaching your kids to lie and cover for whatever you say, that's insane. Like, what kind of example are you setting? And another thing that I want to talk about is, while we're on the subject of kids, is how the kids are treated, and specifically by Rev, because I was going to show you some clips from their road trip of Rev screaming and barking at the kids, but shocker, it's all deleted from her channel. So, she deleted that even before her channel was terminated. So that's why it's so sticky to like get things, because they dirty delete almost everything. So once again, giving credit where credit's due to the people that are like monitoring the situation, because I'm not watching this 24/7, but there are people that are. So kudos to you. But the pattern is that these kids are always talked down to, and there are very little positive affirmations given to them. And it's really sad to see like the juxtaposition between the treatment of their kids to the treatment of their cat, Gavin. And so I have a clip I'm about to show you. You can hear them discuss concern for how stressful it is that the cat's moving, and they feel so bad for him. And like, listen, fair point. I love my little dog. I love animals. Cats are okay. Like, they're not my breed or my species. I love dogs, but still, fair point. The poor cat may have been stressed out, but you can't have concern for the cat and never once bring up the same concerns for your children. So I'm going to play this. Just listen to how they fawn all over this cat. His name is Gavin, by the way. So when you hear them say Gavin, they're talking about the cat. And so listen closely to Rev, because he like chimes in every time Shanny is talking. And listen to the type of positive affirmations he keeps giving the damn cats. And try to remember if you've ever heard him do that with the children. Okay? So.
No, you stay here. You stay with Mama.
He looks
It's okay, baby.
You're handsome boy.
We got you, baby. You cool down.
Handsome.
You can cool down, babies.
Yeah, you're your baby. Yeah. Hi, baby. Oh, yes. Oh, baby, darling.
He's worried about watermelon.
He loved her.
He's getting stressed out because of watermelon.
Baby Gavin.
He knows watermelon is hurting really bad.
He's a good boy.
And she just wants to get out and just explore the world.
Yeah.
She wants to go back to her watermelon ways.
Yeah.
This has been hard on the babies.
Sure.
We got to remember to pet and love the babies. Yeah, hard on the babies.
Sure.
We got to remember to pet and love the babies. Yes. Yes, you're good babies. Yes. The cat gets all the affection you starved your kids of.
All right, so the kids are never fawned over like that. And it's really sad to see, because I bet they don't even realize that they're doing it, but they are. So, you know what happens next, guys? Oh my gosh, more madness, okay? So, I don't know. Actually, probably not all of you saw it because I did have a little bit of technical difficulties in the beginning, but there was a clip that I played at the very beginning of the video where Shanny was crying. So let me play that. Hold on one second.
Laugh now, cry later. Why would I cry?
2 hours later.
Please, someone help me.
It says literally road closed.
Okay, they'll take us on the.
Okay, that's pretty crazy looking, ain't it?
Yep, a different route. Oh my God. Just follow the road.
Okay, I will. I will follow it. That's.
Gotta find a different route.
Where is it in the world that they block off an entire major highway? Could you tell me that?
I don't.
What is with that?
Okay, it looks like you gotta turn right soon.
Left?
Right?
It's telling me left here.
What the f are we going?
Is it actually telling me to go this way?
There's a Kit Kat.
Hi, Kit Kats. Wait. Hey, baby.
Now take a.
Is it a kid?
Keep going on the dirt road.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, just try to be slow.
I'll go
Like,
extra.
yeah, go about 10 miles an hour. Like, seriously.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, in a road like
10.
this.
10.
Yes.
What the are we gonna do?
We're
What?
stuck.
What are we going to do? Because look at the gas.
Okay.
We're and send us in a circle. Should I go this way?
Okay, let me do this. All right. It says go that way.
Yeah, but it'll send me in a circle again.
I say go back that way.
We should go back. There's nothing there. I think I should go this way. And I should see what's that way.
This is so fucking dangerous.
Yeah, I know it is.
A little bit more. Thank you. Oh my God. Try to go over them. Oh God. No.
That's it. No. We're wrecked.
Oh.
No, that's it. We're wrecked.
Jason,
What?
call the cops. Wait, 1 minute.
It's on the run. Got it. Looks like
I just pushed that fucking car.
you literally did.
We gotta call cops. Okay.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? I'm waiting for the chat. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Okay, all right, cool. I just wanted to make sure. Was there an echo when I played that video? All right, good. Thank you guys. I'm still trying to get it. I'm still trying to get like used to everything. Okay, cool. Okay, I did see some comment. Thank you guys. Thank you. I did see some comments saying like, "What the f did I just watch?" Some of you are just coming in now, so yeah, definitely, definitely. When this stream's over, start from the beginning because we went over a lot, and you'll understand like what the hell's going on. But I also saw some comments that said like, "Are the kids okay?" So yes, luckily it looked a lot worse than it actually was. What happened was they ended up having a flat tire and the boys were completely safe. Okay. They ended up losing their precious cat, Gavin. But he was found a little later. So even the pets are okay. The thing is, Shanny did end up going to the ER. But fortunately for her, nothing serious happened and she was cleared and released a few hours later. And I think it ended up being like she strained a muscle or like hyperventilation. It was something that was not life-threatening or serious. Like she was released, hours later, like I said. But here's the thing. The reason that she strained a muscle was because she lifted a whole big ass SUV with 3 people in it. I guess off the train track. So like this is a whole nother topic. We could talk about this later, but like I know that the reason that she's so adamant on doing YouTube is because she says that she's not able to get employment or seek employment anywhere else because she can't move, she can't walk. Like, like UPS delivery drivers, I think they need to be able to pick up 50 pounds or something like that, 70 pounds, or she picked up a SUV with 3 people in it. Like, I'm assuming that there's something out there that she would be able to be employed for. Listen, it's just like the irony of the situation. Like, yes, it could have been adrenaline. Maybe she really can't, but it's just like, what? Like, really? Anyway, so we could discuss that later, but I was just like, my mind I was like, what? Anyway, so yeah, that was the breakdown, guys. You name it, and it happened. And I really think that a lot of that, especially the footage from the kids, really helped to contribute to YouTube. Everyone was flagging. People were spreading the word like they've done in the past with other YouTubers who had children, and it was successful once again. So that was a huge chain of events, a huge sequence of events within a few short days. First and foremost, the condition of the house that those 2 kids were living in, absolutely abhorrent. The false reporting to the police, a pet going missing and then subsequently being found, train tracks and car wrecks and ER visits, and now with channel termination. So anyway, that was the madness. And now let me actually go. I'm going to head over to the chat. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about everything that I just covered. And there's still going to be ongoing developments with her channel being terminated because it just happened a few hours ago. So I'll probably do a follow-up live stream in the future on that, just because I want to follow that story. So what are your guys' thoughts? I'm going to head to chat. Yeah, HD. Yeah, her channel got terminated a few hours ago. And there were a lot of people that were absolutely appalled by everything that happened over the weekend. So if you guys are just coming into the live stream now, definitely go back to the beginning so it breaks down everything for you about what's happened. But with her channel, that just happened a few hours ago. So things are still ongoing. But if you type in, Shanny4Christ, it's not there anymore. It's terminated. It was a violation of child, I think. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure she said that it was for child neglect, child abuse, and animal abuse or something. Like I said, don't quote me on that because that just came out. I didn't verify that or anything, but yeah. So pointing. Tell me when it happened. Was she streaming when it happened? Yeah, I don't think so. It was known as a child-related strike. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Shiny. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was something like that, but I didn't want to like speak fact of something I didn't know if it was. Watching this. Yeah. Yeah, Kay. I've known people with horrible parents, but thankfully they are now good and safe. Yeah. Oh, okay. YouTube should have passed it on to the authorities when they terminate for child abuse. Yeah, that's actually a great comment, Skitty, because I don't really know what their protocol is, but yeah, they would have to be mandated to do that if that's what the violation was. Holy hell. That's a great point. Like, I'm going to be digging into that later because I don't really know how that works, but you're absolutely right. Of course, they would be mandated to report that to authorities. That you're absolutely right. She got other channels now. Well, true, but okay, so let's talk about that. Like, yes, she had, okay, so she had another channel. She had a second channel that didn't have 1,000, that didn't yet have 1,000 subscribers. So she was not monetized with the second channel. And that's where she's streaming from. But here's the problem. That other account is in her name. So even if she's trying to like petition and encourage everyone to subscribe to that channel, that, to me, in my opinion, I think that that's going to be all for naught. Because as soon as she applies for that monetization, that's linked to her first channel that was terminated. And YouTube's terms of service say that once a channel is terminated, you cannot, be on YouTube again. And so there's dishonest ways about it, because there's a lot of people that I've heard of that use other people's channels, which is they sneak around the rules, but that's really not what you're supposed to be doing. But so my guess is that she's going to do the same thing and go onto Jason's channel until that's ultimately terminated. But the thing is, according to YouTube, and I'll probably put something together later, there's something that talks about IP addresses that they track too. And like once, I don't know how stringent they are on these rules, but like once an IP address is pinged, they will flag any channel that's like with that IP address as well. So I don't know, YouTube can be lax with their protocols and it's like a gray area, but I mean, so that's going to be interesting. Yeah, I agree. Ministry, don't subscribe. Don't give them the attention, but give the attention to the other channels that are like keeping the awareness up. Because if it wasn't for them grinding like that, that would have, never happened. But yeah, give them the views. Even those channels are stressing, like, don't go watch them directly, like come to us. So yeah, I agree. They were already evicted months ago, but never went to court and just ignored it. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And that's the thing. It's, oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't understand why one of them just didn't try to work, or I don't know. I think it just sucks that I just feel like it's a double slam, like a slap in the face to not only like you haven't paid these people, you owe them like damn near $20,000 in rent, and then you leave the apartment like completely shitty like that. That's insane. Just say drag. I know, yeah. Drag, that's much easier. I don't ever see Rev working. From what I've heard, and listen, I'm definitely not the expert on these people, but I have learned a lot. I've been watching Drag's channel probably for the past month. Like it was right. Okay, so what piqued my interest about them, because I did watch Cecil's video, or Cecil. I know it's Cecil McFly. Ugh. So Cecil she had a documentary that I watched. It's so good. You guys should watch it if you haven't. And so that kind of piqued my interest. But last month there was someone that brought up, I don't remember who it was, but someone brought up that Rev was losing, like he was about to be like penniless and he was a millionaire before then or something like that. And I was like, what? Like I had no idea. So I think, yeah, I was like searching around for that, and then Drag was covering it, and it was kind of just showing their their debacle of like just being penniless. So I can't believe like he blew it. I guess he's never had to work. Like he had an inheritance that his mom, who passed away, gave him. And I think they blew all of his money in like 3 years or something like that. 700,000. Okay. All right, Ariana. I thought it was okay. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. Is this a hoarding episode? I'm new. Truth is freedom. No, this is footage from Drag, courtesy of Drag. I was going to say it. I was going to say Drag Knocked, but courtesy of Drag. Yeah, he was able to get that footage from Shanny and Rev's apartment. And the thing is, like, I don't care if they want to live in filth, like that sucks to be them, but there's 2 children that were living there too. And there's been a history of that behavior of those kids having to live in filth. I mean, do you know, I wouldn't, if not only child protective services, but like if animal control, or I don't even know what you call them, but like the people that are there to protect animals. Is it animal protective services? Whatever it's called. Even if they were called to that house, they would remove the animal, let alone children. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Yep. Oh my gosh. Well, good luck. I mean, I don't see YouTube. You know, it kind of reminds me, she can make his channel as many channels as she wants. YouTube is not playing around when it comes to the welfare of children. Anything to do with children. And yes, I of course, I'm not going to say that Shanny is Onision. Okay? Like apples to oranges. But the theme is children, right? And you've seen what they've done to Onision. Like, it is like, he really doesn't, I think permanently demonetized him. I think he still has a channel, but they took his power from social media away. And I feel like this is the beginning of Shanny and Rev having to turn a new leaf. Like, I don't want, necessarily anything bad to happen to them, but I do want them to do better. And I don't think that letting them kind of just do whatever they want on their platform is helping. I really don't. So now YouTube's in they've got their eye out, and so do a lot of other people that are watching them constantly. Shanny's father had to chase out, oh gosh, HD. Oh my gosh. Is that true? I cannot confirm nor deny that, HD. Oof, that litter box clip is going so well with my lunch. Sorry, Laura. Yeah, I should have put like a warning, like, warning if you're eating. Yeah, it was bad, but I thought that wasn't a litter. Was it a litter box, or was it like the guinea pig box? See, I don't know. Do you think that was a guinea? Do you guys think that was like a guinea? No, that wouldn't be a guinea pig. Do guinea pigs? Do they even have litter boxes? I have no idea. Wow. Crude AF has a video showing the parents' video about this. HD is correct. Wow. Wow, that's insane. It was an automatic cleaning litter box. That was no bonk. Are you serious? That was an automatic cleaning litter box that was so overly full it stopped working right. Oh, that's even worse. Oh gosh, that's disgusting. I mean, I could go full nerd on this and like just like pull up so much research on the damage of living in filth that it does to, especially the development of children. Like, do you understand how many germs, how much disease, how much, oh, there's a reason. There's a reason you're supposed to pick that stuff up, and it's disgusting. Intro Queen, that's what people have been saying. Oh, that's gross. I wonder if I could zoom in on the box and see if it's definitely an automatic litter box, because that's disgusting. I mean, it's already disgusting, but this is like, that's a whole new level. Holy hell. Now I want to re-clean my house. Oh my gosh, Love Shack. When I saw this over the weekend, I like bleached my entire kitchen. I had to take a shower. Like it feels like cooties are like coming at you. Yeah, it was disgusting. Let alone children living there and the poor animals. Like, ugh. That was 100% a cat box. Okay, Jessica. Yeah, you guys would know better than I. You guys would know better than I. Yeah, Kira, that litter box was insane. That's what cooties look like. Oh my gosh, Beth. Okay, Ministry. The liquid that overflowed on the floor after was that melt? Do you think that was melted feces? That's what you think that was? I didn't even know I thought it was like throw up right by the thing. And I think, it's hard to tell which one were the children's. I know that in Drag's video, they say, which one is the kid's bathroom and which one's not. But I hope that one wasn't. I mean, yes, all of the bathrooms were like disgusting, but I hope that one in particular was not the kid's bathroom. I might have to go back and watch, because I remember that there was a scene, I think, in that room. I don't remember though. I'd have to go back, so don't take this as fact. But I believe, as my memory is telling me, that when they zoom up from that litter box, isn't in the sink, aren't there like little kids like toothbrushes and like the very distinctive little kids toothpaste? I could be wrong. I totally could be wrong. Hey, Freak in the Sheets. I like the name. Hey, Freak. Disintegrated by urine. Oh, gosh. And, then the cat's tracking that with their paws everywhere. And it seems like they're always in the face of that cat, like just hugging it and stuff. Holy hell, that's really disgusting. So the person that went in to film everything was saying how disgusting it smelled. I can't even imagine. I wonder if they ventilated the room, at least open the windows. Oh gosh, this is really sad. This is really sad. And I'm just like, this was so close to never seeing the light of day. I think that's what scares me the most, is that if we hadn't received, not we, gosh, I shouldn't even say that, if Drag hadn't gotten that footage, it would have just been like a story that Shanny's parents had told years ago, and like that wasn't happening anymore. Like you can suspect, oh, I wonder if she is, you're guessing. But like to see it happening currently still, I don't think that in the past, whenever that video was, it was like, you guys, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, definitely go back to the beginning of the stream, because it'll make more sense what I'm talking about. But for those of you that have been watching the whole time, like you saw, oh my gosh, you saw the comparison between Shanny's mom talking about how they left her house disgusting, and that was like 3 years ago, just the whole thing. I'm just glad that it's been brought to the attention. And you guys are right. For those of you entering the chat, someone brought up a really good point and said that YouTube will probably be reporting that to the authorities because Shanny's channel was taken down for, I forgot the quote you guys had. It was like for not child, something about like the welfare of children or something. You guys had the specific quote. So go back in the chat and see that if you guys are looking for it. But that would make sense. It would have to be policy that YouTube would have to automatically provide that to law enforcement. No ifs, ands, or buts. So others have is saved at, what does that mean, Blue? Oh, say other, I don't know. Blue, even with that correction, I'm not sure what you're saying. Please do it again. Already heard the landlord had to pay a cleanout company $9,000 to put. Oh my gosh, including deep cleaning and repairs. Could you imagine being $15,000 in back rent, then having to pay $9,000 for this mess? Oh gosh. That's horrible. Love Shack. But Shanny says the people who came in made the mess. Yes, people brought cat turds with them and threw them everywhere and peed on her son's filthy sheets. That's what they said. That's what they said. Did you see the video that we played? It's insane. That's what they said. Oh, gosh. So, Love Shack, is that, like, how normal is it to see people leave a house in disarray like that? You're saying, when I work for a cleaning company, we would have charged $10,000 just to gut it. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Ashley, she did. She blamed it on everyone else. Deleted the video and everything. As much as I hope CPS will come in because of this, I don't think they will. I'm sure other places have been evicted before. Yeah, Freak. You know, I'll probably do something more in depth later. Honestly, you guys, I wanted to do like a real deep dive because, you know, on my channel, I do a lot of deep dives. But it was just so hard with Shanny because she deletes everything. Because there was a lot that I did want to say, but it's like, it's impossible. It's impossible to do what I'd like to do. But hold on, you said something. Let me go back because I want to finish what I was. The repo man is looking for their vehicle. Oh gosh, this is insane. Oh yeah, that's what I was. I'm sorry, my mind was going. So I did like. You could do research on like CPS alone and like the history and what they look for. And a lot of times it takes repeated reporting of things that you see. And like, I'm not trying to intentionally, you know, find things and pick out every little thing, right? Like, or provoke anyone. If you see it though, you should be reporting it. And so those instances of actual neglect, I mean, the more and more people become aware of it, the better it's going to be. Because like that one, when I was talking to you guys earlier about that one, there's been many families that have been terminated or gone to jail, like adult YouTubers that have gone to jail for child neglect for things that people have seen while they've on their videos. And a lot of it takes persistence, you know? So let me go back to the questions. The poor boys were also doing this, and as well as her parents' house. That's true, Freak. We did cover it earlier in the stream. For those of you that just came, I would definitely recommend starting from the beginning. Honestly, they can clean it myself, but they're lazy pigs. I think you can find re-uploads or archives on YouTube, but I don't know. Yeah, guys, it's so. Uh-oh. My battery's dying here. No. Hold on. Yeah, it is. It is. It's really gross. It's like I saw this on. Okay, so I had to compartmentalize, okay, because like the apartment was one thing. And seeing the condition that those kids, I don't care about the condition that adults live in if that's how you want to live, right? But like the condition of those kids, it was like etched into my brain. And that's why I was like, I have to do a live stream on this. I wanted to talk about it immediately, but I have no idea how to stream. So that's what I've been working on this whole time, is like figuring out how the hell to stream. Otherwise, I would have gone live immediately because I was so pissed. But then you compartmentalize that. And then just the shit show, the absolute shit show that it was. That was insane. And it's like, that part was crazy. Like, that was insane to watch. That was insane to watch. How did anyone watch that like real time? Is there anyone in the chat that was watching that real time? Because that was especially with the car crash, that was crazy seeing that real time, because it seemed like they crashed or like the car tipped over. That's what it looked like from the footage. But I mean, now that you know what happened, it's not as bad, but I'm for better lack of term property manager. Oh, cool. I've had 0 issues. Good for you, Love Shack. Okay, well, yeah, because I would not want you subjected to that. I'm sure you'd have to wear like PPE and stuff. Exactly. Exactly, Linda. And it's like at least one or the other. Like I would feel so, number one, I would never skip out on rent. But let's just say, like, for whatever reason, times were hard and I like couldn't pay the rent or whatever. I would at least have enough decency to be like, okay, well, I may not be able to pay, but let me make this as painless as possible for them. Let me like clean up my shit so that they can, it's move-in ready. Like I didn't, just make everything as nice as it was before I left. Like at least do that. Like this is ridiculous, man. Yeah, okay. So there are a lot of you that watched it live. That was insane. You guys, I would have gone live immediately, but I don't know. I did. I'm still working on, how to do StreamYards. So yeah. Whoever went into videotape this could be charged with mistress or trespassing, even if they said go in, they were evicted. True. Okay. Well, I mean, we can get into the legal terminology all day, and in court though, right? Like you have to prove that they intentionally like went in with malice. And it's going to be very easy to prove that they were under the impression, the people that entered, that they were given verbal confirmation from the people that lived there. Like it's easy enough now that they have the footage. It's easy enough to explain away, even if they did want to go to trial. Like it's not going anywhere because they have that. So they were under the assumption that they were able to enter. It wasn't completely breaking and entering. And if they didn't have that evidence, that video footage that they deleted, so thank goodness someone, recorded that. If they didn't have that, yes, they would have been in more legal trouble. Like, they would have been in actual legal trouble. This, even if it did go to trial, go to court, nothing would happen. I guarantee you that. Yeah. Would Shanny and Rev have to be the ones to prosecute? No, Bonk. That they have no say in anything. Yeah, they don't. They have no legal footing with that as well. It would have to be the property management company, and they may use their testimony, but they've already been shown to be like untruthful, not very truthful. So, but they have the video evidence. Then nothing's going to come of that. Wow, I'm really late, but I'm here. Hi, Oreo. Welcome. We're just like, we're wrapping it up now. So you please go back to the beginning. I'm so glad you're here. Everyone that just came. We covered a lot today. So what did you guys think of this first live stream? Do you guys like it? Also, yeah, like I do have another channel. It's IQ Live, and I am going to start doing like, I think when I'm not 100% sure, you guys, but I'm pretty sure like the people that subscribe to my regular IQ channel, that's like more deep dives, documentaries and stuff. I don't know if you guys really want all of this on one channel, like live streams and documentaries and all that stuff. So I do have another channel. I don't have the link. I don't have much prepared. I would have pinned a link to it if I could on the chat. I don't even know if I can do that. But if you go to my main channel, you'll see it's IQ Live. Please subscribe to that because I'm probably even going to put this video on there. I'm not making any promises. I might leave it up here, but I think I'm going to start putting it on there. But we'll see. And maybe I end up just deleting the IQ Live and making it all one channel here with like both things. But I don't know if you guys are irritated. With the live streams and documentaries on one channel, like this is your time to voice them. And if you guys are watching when this is in replay format, like leave it in the comment section because I do want to know your guys' thoughts. Oh, cool. Okay, you guys liked it. All right, I really appreciate that. My advice to Rev is to remember those kids won't be boys forever. Damn, that is so true. So true. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, so I am going to wrap it up for now. Thank you guys so much for helping me. Like, I'm going to remember you guys. This was my first ever live. So, listen, I had a couple hiccups, but I'm going to get the hang of this thing. So, thank you so much. And I will see you guys soon. All right, guys. I hope you liked the show. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other channels. Subscribe for more. Let me know your thoughts, suggestions, and feedback in the comment section below. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.